How's it going, viewers? Welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing another experiment because I know how much you love my experiments. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be pitting two cars against each other. We've got the Ligier JSP P320, otherwise known as the LMP3. It's going to be going up against the BMW M Hybrid V8, also known as the GTP BMW. But, just like the video we did between the Formula V and the W11, we're going to be doing it on two different tracks. So, what we're going to be doing is the LMP3 car is going to be taking on the Summit Point Jefferson circuit, which, if you have a look here, is the short version of the Summit Point Raceway, whereas the GTP is going to be taking on the full Summit Point track. So we're going to see if a GTP can lap the full track quicker than the LMP3 can lap the short track. Now, I've done a little bit of, well, I say calculation, my version of a calculation, and I'm fully expecting the LMP3 to win this challenge, but it might end up being closer than we think. But same style as the Formula V and the W11 video, we're going to do the LMP3 first, and then we're going to do the GTP and seeing if it can beat that time. But let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we are, everybody, on the Jefferson circuit. Now, you can already tell that this is quite a primitive track, I think is the best word for it. We're going to get going in just a moment, but basically, we're going to see if the LMP3 can lap this track quicker than the GTP on the main circuit. So I'm going to line it up, and away we go for our lap, getting on the power as early as we can. Third gear, fourth, climbing up the gears down into turn one. Now, it's a fairly short main straight. On the brakes, as late as I dare, into the first corner. Lots of big curbs around here with a lot of grass on either side, so you don't want to be hitting it. But already, through the first sector, not too bad. Getting a little bit squirrely as we head through the left-handers of the first sector. Obviously, on cold tyres, the car just wants to kill you all the time. Over the crest and then down into the left-hander, and that might just be off. Oh, and that is an X. I might try this lap again, but I did get a bit locked up on the brakes there, and it did twitch out to the side. Second gear on the way into the final corner, and then first on the way in, not too bad. And now we're going to power to the line, and we're going to see what lap time that is. That's a 49.913. I might go again just to make sure we get a lap which doesn't have mistakes. So I'll see you all in a moment. Alright, here we go. We're going to try it again through the final corner. Going to go wide in first gear like we just did to get the best exit. Getting it turned in. And now let's go. Down the main straight once again. Already climbing up into fourth gear. I'm going to try and brake a bit later this time. Just after the slip road. Down into second gear. And then first for the first corner. Not too bad. Swinging out to the grass on the left. Keeping it tight. And then swinging back for the right-hander. Apex clipping that curb a little bit. Oh, and swinging out a bit wide, and then getting a lot of oversteer on the exit. So a bit of both understeer and oversteer. Over the crest, braking earlier to make sure we actually make that corner. And round we go. Not too bad. We're a second up on the time we just did. So definitely worth it to go and do it again without mistakes. Into the final corner. Second gear. And then first, it was a big lock up. And then we're going to take a tight line on the exit, and that is going to be a much better lap. There's a 48.735, so that is going to be the time to beat for the GTP around the actual circuit. But as you can see, quite technical, quite small, but fairly quick in the LMP3 around the Jefferson circuit. But let's jump over to the GTP. Okay, so here we are on the actual Summit Point track now in the GTP. The time to beat, like I said, is a 48.735. We're going to see how this goes. I've got a high downforce setup on, just an iRacing official one, as to not cheat. Full fuel, like we did in the LMP3, and let's go for a lap. 48.7 to beat. Can we do it across the line? Down into turn one. The outlap was a 39.8. Now, for reference, I was doing a few laps in the F4 around this track just a few days ago, and in the F4 I was managing about a 108, a 109, and I would think that the GTP is a lot quicker than that, getting very squirrely on the exit down into the left-hander. Third gear, try not to spin out, get on the power as early as you dare though, and away we go. We're 25 seconds into this lap. I don't think it's going to happen, and oh, into the hairpin, not too bad. I went very wide there, I don't want to be doing that again. And second gear, now first gear, around we go, back up to second, get on the power as early as you dare, soaring at the wheel a bit because there isn't much grip, trying to keep the car on the road up to fourth through the right-hander, and fourth gear, away we go again as we're going to head up to the final corner, down the crest, fourth gear on the way in, get close to the apex, and now power on the way out. We're going to see, is it going to be quicker than a 48.735 across the line? It's a 106.1, so we are much slower than the LMP3 around the Jefferson circuit. My God, I think we might do one more lap to see if it is doable. I'm going to warm up these tyres a bit more, but dearie me, that was not... Look, I'll be honest, I fully expected it to be under 1 minute. Maybe not as quick as the LMP3, but I didn't think the deficit was going to be that large. But we're going to do it one more time with warmer tyres. I'll see you there. Okay, here we go. Going to try this again. I've warmed up the tyres a bit more now, so the car should be a little bit easier to drive through the final corner. So we're looking for roughly a 20-second improvement to go quicker than the LMP3. I doubt we're going to get that far, but we're going to try again. 7th gear as we head up into turn 1, braking before the 3 cones, down into the first corner, 2nd gear, and already gaining a heap of time on our personal best. Still getting really loose out of the first corner. I don't think this is going to be possible, but down into the left-hander, and then powering out again. That wasn't too bad, in all honesty, as we head up to the right-hander, braking down 5th, 4th, 3rd, and then 2nd on the way into the hairpin. That was fairly okay, and this is where we're going to gain the most time with warm tyres, but I don't think we're going to get remotely close. Through the right-hander, and then through the left, stay to the left, so you can get a better run through the right-hander there, onto the back straight. That wasn't too bad still, but I don't think we're anywhere in sight on the LMP3's time. Down into the final corner, 4th gear, and out we go, powering out. Oh, I nearly lost it. It's going to be a 1.5 second improvement on our best time, and it's a 104.644. It is not possible to beat the LMP3 around the Jefferson circuit. But there you go. Hopefully you all learnt something there. GTP on the main circuit cannot compete with the LMP3 on the regular circuit. But that is going to be it for this video. Oh. Well, there you go, guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. That was a pretty stupid experiment, but then again, they're all stupid. And I just hope that it was entertainment for all of you. So yeah, quite clearly, that a Le Mans prototype cannot beat an LMP3 on a longer track. I did expect the LMP3 to win. I just did not expect it to be at that big a margin than what it actually was. But there we go. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Stay safe, have an awesome day, make awesome choices. And I'm going to see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.